A majority of Americans oppose the Trump administration's policy of separating children from their parents as they seek asylum at the U.S. border, a new study found. The policy, which has affected at least 2,000 children in the past 6 weeks, was opposed by 66% of Americans, with 27% saying they were in favor of separation, according to the Quinnipiac University National Poll of American Voters released today. When does public opinion become a demand that politicians just can't ignore? Asked Tim Mallow, assistant director of the Quinnipiac poll. This is a resounding statement against separating kids from parents. Republican voters were the only segment of the population to support the practice, with 55% in favor of the president's policy, 35% opposed, and the rest uncertain. All other breakdowns by party, gender, education, age, racial and other groups opposed dividing families. Neither quotes from the Bible nor Get Tough Talk can soften the images of crying children nor reverse the pain so many Americans feel, Mallow said, referring to Attorney General Jeff Sessions' recent citation of scripture while discussing the issue. Share this article. Shares Sessions mentioned Romans 13 in a speech to law enforcement officers on June 14, suggesting illegal immigrants must obey the laws of the government because God has ordained them for the purpose of order. Half of voters said the Trump administration has been too aggressive in deporting immigrants who are in the country illegally, while 33% said he was acting appropriately and 13% said he was not aggressive enough. You can look at this poll as an indictment of the administration's treatment of immigrants, Mallow said. There's empathy for the dreamers, there's empathy for kids being separated from their parents. A majority of Americans, 58%, opposed building a wall at the U.S.-Mexico border, while 39% were in favor of the idea. The issue was divided among political parties, with 77% of Republicans supporting the idea, compared to 9% of Democrats. There's big negativity on the wall, Malloy said. We do poll on this issue every month and we hear that money could be put somewhere else, or voters, don't think it could ever happen. Americans also overwhelmingly supported so-called dreamers, people who came to the U.S. illegally as children, also known by the abbreviation DACA for the Obama-era Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals policy. Overall, 79% of Americans are in favor of allowing dreamers to stay in the country and eventually apply for citizenship. When broken down by party, 94% of Democrats and 61% of Republicans support the idea of allowing DACA kids to stay and pursue a path to citizenship, while 5% and 28%, respectively, oppose the idea. The poll also asked Americans what should be done about immigrants already living illegally in the U.S. Overall, 67% of voters said they should be allowed to stay and eventually apply for citizenship, while another 8% said they should be able to stay without becoming citizens, and 19% said they must be forced to leave. When looking just at Republicans' response to that question, 48% said they should be able to stay and eventually become citizens, while 9% supported having them stay without citizenship, and 36% said they should be forced to leave.